Hello, folks. Welcome back to Duty's Daggers. We're doing something a little interesting today. You can see I have some sticky notes out on the table. I'm going to be picking out 6 knives out of my collection that best fit each of these categories. These are kind of a smattering of typical uses that people carry knives for. We have camping and survival, wet environments, ocean, lakes, maybe you're somewhere where it's just generally humid outside. Just moist. I know a lot of people hate the word moist. Sorry, doesn't bother me. Fifth pocket knife. Doesn't have to necessarily be a backup knife. Could just be a small knife that fits in your fifth pocket well. General light to medium use EDC. I think most of us are in this category here. Heavy duty work knife. Notice I made a little joke there. Heavy duty work knife. And then a fancy carry. Maybe a gentleman's knife. Something you'd put in your pocket when you're going out. So I think this is a good kind of range of uses of knives. I'm going to pick one knife out of my collection for each of these. I got this video from Jared Neves. I can't remember, I can't remember if it was a short or a video, but I couldn't remember his categories exactly, so I kind of just made my own. But he was the one that I first saw do this kind of thing, so credit where credit is due. Now, I have not pre-picked out the knives for these categories in my head. I have set aside like 3 to 5 possibilities for each, and then we'll kind of pick. I'll kind of choose together with you guys. Kind of a stream of consciousness thinking about these, what I would pick for each of these. So it's going to be fun. First, please subscribe. Just do it. Please like the video as well. Please like the video. Please. Follow me on Instagram also. Duties_daggers. Thank you. All right, camping and survival. So, in thinking about this category, I realized I really do not have knives that would be best suited for camping and survival. I don't own very many fixed blades at all. And, that's really what you want for camping and survival. You really want a fixed blade. I do have one fixed blade I think would be okay. And that is the Mora Knife Companion. This has been in the past. I haven't had it for too long, but I've taken it on I think 2 camping trips so far. This is my Mora Knife Companion, and this is I think the best knife that I have right now for camping / survival. And I know, yeah, it's not full tang. There's a lot of way better options. This is but we're talking about my collection here, okay? So yes, I know there are many way better options. This is what I have though. This is the version in the carbon steel. There's also a stainless version of this knife. I chose the carbon because I wanted to do an acid etch on it, which I have done. Darkened up the blade there. This is a very, very comfortable knife to grip. Kind of like rubbery handles. Just very, very comfortable. This is a very cheap knife. I can't remember exactly. I will link all these knives down below. Probably not every single knife, but the knives I pick for the categories I will list below. I've also added some paracord wrapped around a ferro rod here. So it's also a fire starter. This knife does not come able to strike the ferro rod, but you just take a file to the spine and get a nice crisp 90-degree angle right there, and then you can easily I said, there we go. I just had to do it hard. Easily strike ferro rod off of it, and that's what I did. Yeah, that just stays right in there. This is a good camping knife. It's got, just a kind of a wrap-around kind of hook deal. This circle kind of area is for a button, maybe a button on your jacket. You slip it in there and then pull it down, and it kind of recedes back into this area in here and kind of locks itself into the button. I think that's a cool feature. You know, very simple, but very good. This is a Scandi grind, meaning that there's no edge bevel. This is the edge bevel. So some people call it a zero grind as well. Basically, you have the flat, then you have the bevel, and then that's it. There's no edge bevel. It just goes all the way down to the final edge. This is a very sharp knife. Very, very, very sharp. I haven't really hard used it. I've just stropped it back, and it stropped back pretty easily too. So this is great. Made in Sweden. You know, these are pretty famous for being very good, very budget friendly fixed blades. So I think that's going to win the category. I also thought about, you know, if I had to bring a folder to a camping survival situation, I would want something very tough. You know, the Hinderer might work, although I would never do that. You know, this is, you know, you have the finger guard you could use for chopping. You know, it's just overbuilt, beefy, thick behind the edge, so you won't have to worry about deforming the edge at all, chopping or batoning. I think this would actually do pretty well if you were wanting to do that with the Hinderer. You could, I think. But the Morrow knife, definitely out of my collection, is going to win the camping survival category. All right, wet environments. You guys already know I only have one knife that it could be. That's the Spyderco Native 5 Salt. This knife is completely rust proof, being that they use LC200N blade steel, which is very, very high corrosion resistance. Stainless steel hardware, titanium clip that I added, and these FRN handle scales. Cannot rust. I've really, really enjoyed having this knife, not only to just have in your pocket when it's raining outside and not have to worry about it getting wet, but also just as an EDC knife in general, even without the rust-proof properties. This is a really, really, really good EDC knife. You know, this would be very, very high in the general light to medium light to medium use EDC category as well. This would be a very good one for that, for light to medium use. It's just a fantastic EDC knife. Really, really comfortable. Choke up, choke back. You know, it's a lock back. Strong locking mechanism. Pretty slicey blade. Perfect blade shape, you know. It's just really good. This bidirectional texturing is really, really enjoyable. Not only does it look really cool, I think, it also is very grippy, but not too grippy. Just grippy enough. Really like this knife. So obviously, this would be what I choose and do choose in a situation where I'm going to get wet. Fifth pocket knife. This is tough. This is very tough for me. Initially, I want to say the McBee because I absolutely love the McBee. And this has been my fifth pocket carry for the last few weeks. Every single day, been carrying this little guy. I absolutely love it. But, you know, I have a lot of other knives that are really good too. The Lumi. Nice little slim fifth pocket carry. Very fun top flipper. The Baby Banter. Excellent fifth pocket carry. Probably, well, no, there's one more on the list also, but this one, you know, small knife feels like a big knife, you know. Fit this in your fifth pocket. It almost feels like you have a full-size one once you open it up and grip it. Fantastic knife. The other one that feels a lot bigger than it is, the Mini Sheepdog, you know, choke up spot. Double detent version. You can also get it in a liner lock. I like this version so much. It's just so much fun to fidget with, and it's also just really quick to get out of your pocket, cut, pop it closed, put it away. It's fast. Really great knife. Very thin behind the edge on this one too. The newest addition is the Victorinox Bantam. I believe it's called the Bantam in the ALOX. This is a little gift from my good bud Daner, and I've been carrying this every day since he gave it to me. It's just so slim that you can throw it in your fifth pocket or even your regular pocket. You won't even know it's there. Very thin, slicey blade. Also has a bottle opener, and you could use that as a flathead as well, right here. It just feels good. This ALOX is a textured aluminum. It feels good. It looks very good. So this is a great fifth pocket carry knife. Spyderco Rhodey. It's another great fifth pocket carry. Slip joint, choke off spot so it can't close on your hand. Funky looking, but lovable. I could go on. I have a lot of knives that could qualify as the fifth pocket knife. The Little Native, just lent to me by Jason. Really, really, really good little knife. This is hard to beat. The Little Native is hard to beat for as far as little knives go. I'm having trouble. Kind of like the Baby Banter, but I think even better ergos. You have the compression lock, which just makes it even more fun and convenient. This is hard to beat. I'm going to go with the McBee, though, because, there are other knives that are more ergonomic. There are other knives that are better for cutting as far as functionality, but I love this one more, so I'm going to choose it. I love this one more. And for me, if I have a knife in my fifth pocket, it is always going to be a secondary carry. So I don't need to have something like the Baby Banter where I can get a really good grip on it and do some slicing if I need to. I don't need to do that. I already have another knife for it. I just need something little that I can pop out and do some quick cutting with. That's why I'm going with the McBee. All right, general light to medium use EDC knife. This one is a massive, massive category as well. Again, so many knives that could be perfect for this. CJRB Pyrite, I think, is a very good choice. Just very nice, clean, simple design. Very good button lock. Very, very smooth. Great thumb stud action. Choke back, comfortable. Choked up, comfortable. Just a very well-rounded style blade. You can do a lot of things with this blade. Great size. This is a fantastic choice. The Nightshade. This is such a good knife, man. This is, I got this, a few days ago. I have been loving it so much, man. I have been carrying it ever since I got it. Reverse flick, excellent. The way this blade is shaped and how the tip is facing down, it's so easy to cut with. It's so fun to cut with. This is a great light to medium use EDC. The Cuvist variant PE2, another one I've really been loving. Sway back design, perfect blade shape for EDC. Reverse flick, great. Front flipper, great. This one's a little heavy. There's no milling on the inside, which is why it probably won't win this category, but I very, very much do love this knife. The Kaiser Drop Bear. Just got done carrying this for a full 20 days straight. I can tell you from experience, this is a fantastic EDC. Fantastic, dude. It literally, it honestly could even be more into the heavy-duty work knife category. I was pretty hard on this thing. It did extremely well. So that's just an example of a few general light to medium use EDCs. I have a ton more, the Malibu, amazing. I'm not going to go on, but it's hard to pick. It's really hard to pick. So I kind of just have to go with my gut and where what I'm feeling right now, and it's going to be the Nightshade. I just love this knife so much. I already talked a little bit about it. I can't find anything I don't like about it. I really can't. The pocket clip works really good. It's low profile. Does not feel pokey into the hand at all. Mostly what I like about it is, number one, excellent detent for the reverse flick and thumb flick. Excellent, excellent, excellent. This is the most fun I've had reverse flicking a knife in a while. It's so good. But the main thing I like about it is this blade. It's thin behind the edge. It's a full flat grind, broad blade, and that tip is pointing down. You do not slide out of cuts when you're slicing cardboard or any type of material that you're slicing. You're always going to stay in the cut. Draw cuts just feel so good. It's a weird feeling having the blade pointing down like this. You're not going to totally understand until you try one. But just trust me, it feels so good. The spine is crowned, which is a really nice touch. So when your pointer finger's up here, it just feels good. This is, I have to choose this for the general light to medium use EDC. Have to. And now we get to the heavy duty work knife. In my eyes, it's between the PM2. I carry this knife quite a bit at work. Thick blade stock, gets relatively thin at the tip, but still not so thin that you're worried about breaking it. Compression lock, great ergos, enough blade, S45 VN, awesome edge retention. The Manix 2, possibly better ergos than the PM2, probably stronger lock. This one in particular, better edge retention. Same overall size as the PM2. Pretty close. The PM2 is a little bit longer. Between these two, as a heavy-duty work knife, I got to go with the Manix 2. And then the other one that comes to mind is the Demco 8020.5. Mostly because of the shark lock. Very, very strong lock. Very strong lock. And, you have kind of a thicker blade stock, not super thin behind the edge. And the tip is a nice thick tip. This knife will be able to hand so much abuse. It's just so solid, Titanium handle scales. Not to mention, it's just unbelievably fun and fidgety and makes some of the best sounds in the knife game. Those are kind of just added bonuses. This is a really, really good heavy-duty work knife. The Hinderer could be in there too. This is definitely a heavy-duty knife for sure. And there's others. I think... Gosh, that is kind of hard. The Manix 2 is more slicey. It's a little bit more slicey than I would usually think of as a very heavy-duty knife. When I think heavy-duty, I think like, thick blade stock. You can do anything with it. You're not worried about anything happening to the knife. The PM2 though. There's the Chavez too. That might be a very good heavy-duty work knife. This is a thick boy. Thick blade stock. This one does get pretty thin behind the edge, but relatively thick blade stock. Just a beefy frame lock, This would for sure be a good work knife. Gosh. I think for work, very easy one-handed use is important. A lot of times, at least for me, when I'm at work and I need to cut something, I'm usually holding whatever I need to cut in one hand and the knife in the other hand. I got to reach in my pocket, deploy it, and put it away all with one hand easily and quickly. Considering that, I think I got to give it to the 20.5 just for the ease of use, not to mention, very strong locking mechanism, all the other things I mentioned. This is a really good hard use knife. And lastly, a fancy carry, a gentleman's knife. Now I've got a couple that come to mind. One is my Finch Knives Holiday. Um, this is usually my go-to knife for an occasion. I really like to carry this. It's just classy as hell. With the inlay work, it's the general aesthetic of it. It's just classy, man. And it's a really good knife too. Very nice, snappy detent, glassy smooth in the pivot. No resistance. Well, there's resistance, but no grittiness. Just nothing. It feels like there's almost nothing in there. Nice click. It's just very refined. The fit and finish on these guys is really good. So that's a heavy contender. The Civivi McKenna, also a very close contender, just because it looks amazing. We have this kind of tumbled, aged copper scales and backspacer, titanium clip that I put on there. Of course, the Damascus. The general size of it, it's smaller, kind of interesting to look at. This is a very great kind of fancy gentleman's knife. And oddly, for some reason, I think of this knife as a gentleman's knife too. Tucson 216. I don't know. For some reason, when I look at this knife, I think like, I don't know. It just seems classy to me. The smock also actually seems kind of classy to me. I don't know why. That might just be me. But I think I gotta give it to the Finch, because this is historically, ever since I got it from Diener, that this has been my go-to going out knife, my fancy occasion knife. I carried this on Christmas, Thanksgiving. So for those reasons, I gotta choose it. It's just so good. So there we go. Hope that was entertaining. I want to hear from you guys in the comments what your picks are for each of these categories. Let me know. Camping survival, wet environments, fifth pocket, general medium use EDC, hard use EDC, and a fancy guy. So hope you guys enjoyed. Please hit the like button before you head out. And thanks for watching. Love you guys. Peace.